Hello, I'm Natalie Becker. Welcome to It's Africa's Time. Today we travel with MOTA-ENGIL in Mozambique to meet the people involved in implementing a range of macro infrastructure projects which will facilitate significant socio-economic development in the region.
Well, we are on 3 continents. We are in Europe, in Africa, and Central and South America. We are not in Asia, and I think we'll be staying pretty much on these 3 continents, with a higher focus in Africa, which we think it will be the continent for the future. Well, we have a full operation in 8 countries. And we are expanding our operations to additional 3 countries. So today our biggest operation is in Angola, followed by Mozambique, Malawi. So our main design, which will have West Africa Polo, SADC Polo, and the East Africa Polo. And on the SADC region, we'd like to single out Angola due to the size and the historical presence of MOTA-ENGIL in the country. So these 4 polos are the main key drivers for our strategy in Africa. The MOTA family, they start working in Mozambique in 1946. So MOTA and Company, meaning now MOTA-ENGIL, started operated under this brand in 1992. And from there, we have been growing quite fast our presence in the country, taking more and more projects, some quite challenging, and it is a good country. We are quite satisfied with Mozambique.
The group has 3 major projects on construction stage, such as the new bridge over the Zambezi River in Tete and the Chimoio-Espungabera Road. Also the project to increase the capacity of the Linha do Sena over to our project have a significant dimension and a great strategic importance for the development of this country.
We start in the province of Tete, where MOTA-ENGIL has invested in the construction of the new Tete Bridge over the Zambezi River.
I would say that MOTA-ENGIL was a bit visionary when we challenged the government of Mozambique to construct that bridge. We know this region very, very well. We know the traffic between Zambia, Zimbabwe, towards to Malawi, and vice versa. But also we could realize the huge potential of Tete due to the coal mining industry, which was quite rampant at that time. So the existing bridge in Tete was not adequate for the numbers of traffic that Tete has got. So we challenged government to create a PPP, which is our first PPP in Africa, and has been a very successful project at all levels, on the relationship with government, on the relationship with the community, on the relationship even with investors. And that creates a new sun rising of opportunities in Mozambique. So this model, I'm pretty much sure that it will be used and copied for other solutions and to resolve other problems.
The client for the project is Estradas do Zambeze. The construction itself is being managed under a consortium of 3 Portuguese companies. MOTA-ENGIL is the leader of this consortium, having 43.5% of the contract, ensuring to the construction of the bridge, viaducts and access roads, and the rehabilitation of 2 national roads. The main objective of the bridge is to deviate traffic from the center of the city away from the existing bridge. All the heavy trucks will then start to use the new bridge, reducing the stress of high traffic on the old bridge, which was built from 1968 to 1973. The bridge will become the main link of Zambia and Malawi to Beira Port, as well as linking Zimbabwe to these countries. This project has provided employment for more than 550 Mozambicans. The project will improve road transportation, making it faster, reducing price and reducing wear and tear of vehicles using road.
Vai haver mais desenvolvimento.
The country is going to gain more because it will facilitate transport of goods and people between the two sides of the river, and it will take out traffic from the Tete city.
Maior ganho para o país.
MOTA-ENGIL Mozambique has somewhere around 1,600 employees, and around 1,500 of those are nationals. In the scope of the Human Resource Management Capital, we started the project to develop the knowledge of the national employees and to answer challenges like the reinforcement of the know-how and leadership of local employees, the attraction and retention of local employees, reinforce the culture and values of the group. This project will be launched by the top management and will also have the commitment of all mobilized employees through the signature of the Carta de Compromisso, where they agree to be tutors for young Mozambican employees with the objective of orientating, train and give to know the culture of the group.
Before I have two children that I could put on school and university. I have one here on the university in Tete, and I have one that has already finished his degree in Beira. Things that before I worked for MOTA-ENGIL I couldn't do, and I even dreamed to do it.
Next, we visit a road rehabilitation project linking Chimoio with Espungabera within the Manica province near the Zimbabwean border. But before that, we chat with local government representative Dr. Ana Paula Ferreira, who tells us more about the planned community centre in Tete, which is partly funded by the Manuel Antonio de Mota Foundation. The foundation, which is named after the founder of MOTA-ENGIL, handles the group's funding of sustainable social initiatives worldwide. The Department of Women and Social Action is a government department which realizes poverty alleviation programs. I coordinate the communications between the foundation that is financing this project and the technical team from the Department of Women and Social Action, as well as the rest of the entities that participate indirectly in the building. With MOTA-ENGIL, we are building an open community centre for people who resort to begging to sustain themselves. We target 4 main groups, namely women, old-aged people, disabled people, and children living below the poverty line. We're going to organise occupational activities, such as horticulture, sewing, arts and crafts, which will provide them with a healthy livelihood on one hand, and on the other hand with opportunities for them to be self-sufficient, thanks to the sale of the products that they will generate. On the street, they risk being hit by cars and they lose their dignity. Therefore, we hope that the centre can centralise the economic support coming from people's goodwill and at the same time minimise the risks that they're exposed to. As a secondary result, we also expect that children, who would previously have helped the disabled on the streets, will be able to attend school and enjoy their right to education.
The Chimoio is a totally different approach, has a huge impact on the local community, a huge impact on the agro-business industry, because they will be able to transport their goods to Beira or even to Tete, and they will be able to locally, socio-economically, to develop consistently a very remote part of Mozambique.
The Mozambique National Road 260 goes from Chimoio, Manica, capital of province, to Espungabera, border of Zimbabwe.
The nature of this project tends to improve access for the communities by communicating agricultural areas and potential touristic areas. MOTA-ENGIL's socially responsible role is well known in the country, and we are indeed aware of the huge participation of the people within the influence zone of the project. On the one hand, including women, and of the overall satisfaction of the population on the other hand. We are also aware of the support received by social institutions, such as schools. In our case, at the Dombe municipality, we have received specific support in the form of this school. We have also received fuel for the running of the administrative post.
My role is to sensitize the community, to explain the objectives of the initiatives, and to explain to the population how to comply with the guidelines provided by the National Roads Administration and MOTA-ENGIL. It will change the lives of the population. If it used to take 6 hours to go from Chimoia to Espungabera, it will now take only 2 hours.
We have made a school. We have helped in jobs and works in a hospital. We have made pamphlets and so on, and education. A lot of programs with the people to prevent AIDS.
Many civil servant positions have been allocated. Many Mozambicans are getting jobs, and additionally, we also receive social support from MOTA-ENGIL. Now, for example, they have sunk a borehole, and when the construction works are finished, the borehole and pump will be handed over to the municipality, as well as the construction buildings that have been erected in and around Jakarta.
This construction at this moment has 576 local people working in this project. There are a lot of companies making a big investment in the country, and they are making a lot of jobs, and those people, they have money, and the country is improving a lot, and mostly the past 10 years.
By resolving a local socio-economic problem, Mozambique has also thought quite ahead and creating a new corridor to generate more business from the shores of Mozambique to Zimbabwe and vice versa.
In Beira, MOTA-ENGIL is also involved in the upgrade of the railroad from Tete to the port of Beira, an important route both for the export of Mozambican mining produce and also for the transport of passengers.
De referir que os 16 anos de guerra.
The 16 years of war and destabilization have almost ruined all the infrastructures of the country, since roads, electrical supplies, schools, hospitals, implying the stop of the agricultural industrial production. Also transportation of goods all through the country. To the war in 2000 and 2001, the country suffered from huge floods that destroyed roads, bridges and railways and cut the country connections. All this sector was pretty much stopped until 2005.
You are increasing the capacity of the Sena Railway, which is from Moatize to the port of Beira, about 500 kilometers in total. The client is the CFM Port and Railways of Mozambique. The contractor is a consortium of MOTA-ENGIL and Edivisa. The project has the duration of 20 months and will be finished on February 2050. Currently, the capacity is 6.5 million tons per year. At the end of this project, the capacity will be 20 million tons per year.
Because we are receiving more volumes of coal and general cargo and passengers, so that we need to improve the capacity of this line for 20 million tons of coal and other products like general cargo and the passengers. It helps first to CFM, because it means that we have some money going to our accounts, and we're now employing more than 500 people. This also helps the country to develop. We have passenger trains. We are running one train per week to Moatize, another train to Marumeu. The small village along the line was almost dead, and now they are also reactivating because of the trains which are running.
The main work in this project is to replace the rail. Another big important work is to reinforce the ballast. We have a quarry almost in the middle of the project, in the center of the gravity, and we will make the ballast. And we transport to here, to site, and in the site we put on the wagons to work in the line. Afterwards, we have a tacadeira, is a big machine with forks that compact the ballast below the rail. Afterwards, we have another machine, is a rollator, that nivels and put the ballast in terms. More important goal is the security of the workers that we have and, of course, the quality that the client wants.
O que essa máquina fez? Do princípio, transporte de trabalhadores e apoio na via, né?
This equipment serves two purposes. One, transportation, it transports people back and forth, and also equipment and all kind of gear that is needed to the maintenance or new works on the line. First of all, the needs of these repairs works are urgent because the line was in bad conditions and it was not greatly secure to travel around. And it creates a lot of employment, and it gives a lot of opportunity to young men like myself to understand, to work, to grow on this type of works, being part of MOTA-ENGIL staff on the railroad. This project is creating conditions so the train can connect people from that or far away to Dondo in a timeless manner, giving support to all kind of business around the line and around all the stops that the train does, connecting people and goods.
Two projects recently launched by MOTA-ENGIL take us to the Mozambican capital, Maputo, where the group is currently focused on two new sectors of development: real estate and urban waste collection.
Well, inclusive business is today one of the strong concepts that worldwide has been discussed, and namely the African inclusive business. Being such a big company, we create a number of opportunities for other small businesses. For instance, in Mozambique, we have this waste management business, and we have two local partners. With them, we are developing a new concept, a new approach.
Iniciamos, em termos de lixo, iniciamos no mês de outubro de 2013.
We will start in the month of October the services of EcoLife in the collection of urban waste in the center of the city of Maputo. This is our first contract on the scope of environmental and services in Mozambique. EcoLife was created with the objective to answer the needs of this country in areas like collection, cleaning, treatment and environmental education.
You see, we have got a very successful project in Angola, and we have a huge experience in Europe, namely in Portugal. And we can see that the future in Africa will pass through this new investment in environment. And people, they become more conscious about the need of to treat their waste and from their waste to generate value. Our core business, it is always construction, but now we are diversifying as well. We are looking to opportunities on the environment industry, and we are also targeting the oil and gas industries and the peripherals on that industries. Real estate is ramping up in Mozambique. There is investment coming, there is lack of housing, lack of offices, but it's not the main driver for us. It's just to tried to cover a niche of market.
This is a project that we have developed with methods that we have brought from our knowledge of construction in Portugal. And with that, we have done the 20 stories of the building in only 6 months. It takes one slab every week. And since our positioning in this market is to train Mozambicans, we are also training new professionals in different kinds of areas connected to this industry.
Este projeto está a trazer emprego para os moçambicanos.
This project here is creating new jobs for the Mozambican people. This is a project that creates housing facilities in the heart of the city, and for all of that is making Mozambique to grow. I'm proud of being Mozambican. We can expect that Mozambique has capable Mozambicans to do everything for its country.
Mozambique's robust economic performance continued in 2012, with a real GDP growth rate of 7.4%, coupled with a historically low inflation rate. According to the World Bank, large future public and private investments in the emerging extractive industry could provide the means for it to reach the status of a middle-income country by 2025. Nevertheless, national socio-economic initiatives remain focused on sustainably reducing poverty and fostering human development, still one of the lowest in the world.
Para além do posicionamento estratégico,
aside from the strategic positioning, the recent growth of sectors like carbon and natural gas has created a demand that imply this country to present business opportunities in all activity sectors. The projections of growth are from 7% in a period between 2013 and 2015 and 8% per year for 2016-2017.
Mais escolas, temos mais hospitais, temos mais pessoas qualificadas.
We have more schools, more hospitals, and we have more qualified professionals to cover the needs of those social institutions.
Alimentos para as pessoas.
We can also see that there is more food available for the population. All these are results of the economic growth and contributions in the form of taxes, which guarantee that we can assist the people most in need.
Mais carentes.
The growth of the country is sustainable at present. It will definitely reach all levels of society, but not at the same time.
We believe in our dreams and more a better and improved integration between our culture as a company and the needs and demands of the people of Africa. Africa will duplicate the population in 20 years. In 20 years' time, half of the population of Africa will have less than 19 years old. So the countries, they will need to be investing in health, education, so they don't have enough resources to go to other areas. So the private sector has to go and create solutions in order to tackle those problems. And I would say that logistics, energy, industrialization, farming will be key areas for the future. We have to generate employment, we have to generate wealth, and they have to generate welfare.
This is a continent that has a huge number of challenges for growth and development, at the same time as there's fantastic opportunity. Those challenges for growth and development are not insurmountable. They're well within reach as we look at the MDGs in many places, but they're going to take a really concerted effort and partnership. What are they? There's a huge need for a greater investment in education, so that citizens of the continent, citizens of the region, and citizens of countries like Mozambique have the skills that they need to engage and benefit from the economy that's coming and the growth and development that's happening. There's a huge challenge on infrastructure, not just big infrastructure, but secondary infrastructure, medium-sized roads so farmers can get things to market, all of that to help food security and productivity over time. And then there's a challenge that the continent faces overall around climate change, and something that's going to take a very long-term investment, but a very smart adaptation strategy, community by community, country by country, to make sure we're on top of that and minimizing risks for the future.
Thank you to all our contributors. Join us next month on Tuesday the 10th of December, where we travel to Nigeria to look at the inclusive business initiatives of two global giants. But for now, thanks for watching.